lease for Granite Creek Energy. It's a lease assignment. It was legacy to Granite Creek.
Move to approve, Madam Chair. Second.
It moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as listed. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. I should say also that Commissioner Scott Stewart is not here today. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is at 9:35, but it's not a public hearing, so we can probably have you go ahead and come up to the table and talk about what we're doing here. So it would be Brian Edwards, County Engineer, Travis Ball, Solid Waste Manager, open and review sealed bids for the scrap metal recycling at the Park County landfills.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, with our 3 operating landfills at Cody, Powell, and Clark, where every couple of years we accumulate a certain amount of scrap metal, and so then we bid out. This is hard for me to think about, but for the highest bidder for the price to recycle all the metal and get that going. So that's what we're doing today. We did receive 2 bids. First one is from we don't know, it doesn't say on the outside, but we'll see if we. Oh, this is from Harris Trucking and Construction, doing business as Wyoming Steel Services. Their bid is for $161.50 per ton. And they put their certificate of Wyoming residency in with it. I don't see the other details worth reading. It's straightforward. $161.50. The other one is from
Western Metal Recycling.
Western Metals Recycling out of Utah. So you're good. Their bid is $165.49 per ton. And because they're a Utah company, we'll probably look at that 5% on that. So that's going to be a factor, I believe. Yeah, Western Metals Recycling, $165.49.
Or 65.
Yeah, 165. And I will tell you, just for frame of reference, 2 years ago when we did that, the bid was $141 a ton. So, and we had about 1,600 tons last time, which is about $220,000. So decent amount of money. We do pretty well on our metal recycling.
What do we have now?
We're not really sure. We think
it?
there's about that same, maybe a little less, but about the same.
Maybe a little.
Okay.
Pretty close to the same.
Pretty close to the same. We try to do it every couple of years.
Is it 5% or 10%?
5.
5.
Well, there'll be 10 with Utah.
Right.
The
Yeah,
state
that's
and
true.
state
Just
is
the state, yeah, so it'd be
either
10.
way, they're way over.
Well, no, because you would
They'd be way under.
way under.
Way under.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, if you knock 16
$16 off.
bucks off, they're going to be down. Way
Yeah,
below
they're only
160.
$4 difference.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a whole lot to look at other than do some due diligence, make sure everything's clean, but we probably come back. But that's okay, like the 3rd meeting of this month. If we can put that on the agenda, Molly. To award or review and consider awarding the metal recycling the 3rd meeting of this month. And then we'll
Madam Chair,
work on a contract.
what would be,
Just maybe nothing other than maybe
Just reviewing the agreement we had last time.
yeah, the agreement
Just
we had
to
last time and you know, I don't know. There's not much here. I mean, if
I
you
thought
got
it was pretty specific in the bid packet that was sent out on what was supposed to be done when they came in and took the salvage.
and I think if we were going to the Utah one, we definitely, but if we want to go ahead and award it now, I think we probably can, because this other company's the one that did it last time.
Can we approve it contingent on knowing they meet or
Yeah, yeah,
meeting all the,
yeah.
Yeah. So we go,
Madam Chair, do they do this all in one day or a
No,
specific time?
it
Is
takes
that-
quite a while.
yeah. They'll start, the way the packet was sent out, they'll start in Clark. They'll clean up that pile, then they'll go to Powell, and they'll clean that up, and then they'll do the Cody pile. And then they're done. They have to make sure all the metal is cleaned up when they're done. Let's go over it with the magnet, make sure all the, you know, all the small pieces and nails and stuff are gone too, so. I do remember that from the bid packet. So,
It is for a period of 90 days, I believe is their contract.
yes,
Within 90 days, they're supposed to have everything gone, so they basically take. Clean
That's
everything.
with both companies? 90
Yes,
days.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the bid.
Yeah. Yeah, so we could, if you wanted to go ahead and. award it.
Yeah.
Commissioner.
We can go.
patience? Madam Chair, I move to award the scrap metal recycling to Harris Trucking, pending the contract agreement
Review.
with them signing.
Have a second?
Second. One of us.
One of you? Okay. Been moved and seconded to award the scrap metal recycling bid to Harris Trucking in the amount of $161.50 per ton. And meeting the requirements of the agreement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
I
Anyone opposed?
It's a little slow.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, you guys
Thank
let
you.
us know
Thank
if
you.
there's a
Yep, we'll
problem.
let you know if there's any issues.
Okay, thank you.
You got better things to do to come back and.
That was.
Like work on 7RP.
I'm doing my due diligence. So.
Let's not talk about the patience
Sure.
part of this here.
scholarship thing and all this film all in on mine.
Oh,
We can, unless you want.
no, go ahead. That's easier than me trying to write.
Are you cheating?
No, I'm,
He's filling in A forms, we can add them up.
well, but yeah,
You got the same damn answer, that ain't.
pretty close.
Okay,
At least one of
Thank
them.
you.
I don't know how you guys always do it. I alternate
Well,
until I run out of people and then
Forget,
I know.
one of the things that one of the things the commissioners do every year are award scholarships that basically come through WCCA. I think
I do.
Um,
It's actually through University of Wyoming.
University of Wyoming. We give 3 $500 scholarships.
$1,000.
I thought they were 500.
Per semester,
Oh, per semester. Okay.
sorry.
That's okay. So we received those applications and went through those over the last few days. And of course, everybody, Cody, Powell, and TC are all eligible. And we had from Cody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from Cody, 1 from Matisse, 4 from Powell. So Lee is working on the total sheet.
did anyone get anything from
Scott.
Stewart?
Nope. Couldn't hear anything.
Lee's tallying them up. We've all scored.
They're still spelling Lloyd's name wrong.
I spelled it wrong or something?
Apparently on the lease agreement. Yeah, they got it backwards. We might check that in the
I
computer.
just corrected it.
Right. Yeah. Who did the agreement?
Initial it if you.
Huh? Legacy sent it.
Madam Chair. If I could on the scholarship stuff, I don't know whether everybody caught. There was one applicant that plans to go out of state,
Did
Okay.
catch that.
and that's I put him way down on the list simply because it is an
Well,
in-state only
not
scholarship.
I was just marking that to make sure I remembered what that was.
Okay, that was going, that's pretty harsh
No,
to give someone
No.
a negative.
I was not.
Anybody had a trustee.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give these back.
We look at several things, but one of them is that they are attending somewhere in the state of Wyoming, so that the money is used in Wyoming. At least the intent.
And then-
We also have the ability to do one renewal. Out of the 3 that we gave last year, the clerk is going to send the information to those 3 eligible students, and we will deal with those in 2 weeks.
I noticed we didn't
As
have.
we get it back.
My apologies.
No problem. We'll work through it.
And we have plenty of time. We don't have to have it to the university until June 12th, July 1, something like that. So we
Okay.
have plenty of time. We always try to get ours picked by the time the schools do their announcing of scholarships.
Right.
Is why we always do it in April.
And we usually try to attend their
Yeah.
scholarship nights. We'll see how this goes and go from there.
So what we've got with violation of the 4 of us, but we've got Remy Broussard at number 1 with 40 points total. Lila Neves is number 2 with 32 points total. Gabriella Patterson is number 3 with 30 points total, and then our backup would be JC Irvin out of Matitsi with 4. She'd be the 4th with 28 or 29 points.
So she's your alternate.
She'd be the alternate. She'd be the 4th one.
Okay,
Right.
and Broussard is Cody.
What's that?
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not discussing, I know we don't have our obligated and no way or so, but in the past, we've always tried to. Have 1 Cody, 1 Powell, 1 Matisse, and if you switch 3 and 4, we would hit that. Our alternate would be the 3rd recipient from Matisse. How much was the point difference between? 1 point different between.
Gabriella or
Evans and
Patterson.
Patterson.
Yeah,
Patterson and Eves are where are they from?
they're both from Powell,
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
but we haven't always.
Right,
No, I know, I'm just throwing that out there.
it's up to you all.
Yeah, we did 1 from Cody, 1 from Powell, and 1 from Matisse last year.
Mhm.
Right. We don't
And
have
lots
to,
of times
but
how it lands.
What's that?
Lots of times how it does land, but
We didn't receive very many from.
depends on what the.
Here, what's the pleasure of the board?
I'd like to give it to each community. Where they're all up.
So are you gonna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to give the top earner from Matisse, the top point getter from Cody, and the top point getter from Powell to receive the commissioner scholarships.
Just so the motion would be Remy Broussard,
Mhm.
JC Irvin.
No. Well, okay, Matiti.
yes,
Yeah.
and Lila,
And
Neves,
Lila
yes.
Neves.
Okay.
With Gabriella Patterson being the alternate.
second,
Gabby.
Gabby.
Okay.
Figured.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that award? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Right.
Anyone opposed? No, motion passes. Okay. Guess that we'll bring the others back in a couple of weeks, whenever we get to
Yeah, I'll get the
stuff sorted out.
The alternate or the
Oh,
renewals?
Renewals.
renewals.
We just have one renewal, but the three of them have the ability to
Three have
apply
the
for it.
ability. So
If they
I'll
choose
give
to.
them- I give them a week,
Okay.
10 days. How long are you guys gonna need to be ready for the 18th?
Just,
Should I have them returned to me by the 13th or the 12th?
that'd be fine.
Okay.
That should be plenty of time for us to look at them.
Yeah, because they're in.
There's just three of them. So.
They don't have Zoom on the casino floor?
I didn't know, I don't know where they are right now. Yeah. Our missing commissioner and our missing county attorney are trying to get home from a trip they were on, and of course the
Tuesday.
weather is, yeah, in Vegas. And they say the weather was a problem.
I just got a text from my pasture guy in Casper. He's got 30 inches.
Oh, so they're hanging today, huh?
Yeah, he saw it coming and fed yesterday.
Okay. We've got a little bit. I don't want to jump too far ahead on this agenda. So if you guys want to get a cup of coffee or something, it'll take a few minutes.
Before we get into it, I have a question on SharePoint.
Shows how much I get.
If you look at,
Where are you?
trying to find where the hell is that, which it's ARPA worksheet, the second one listed in SharePoint.
Oh, you're not in our today's stuff.
You're in the ARP fund tracking? Is that where you're at? You went into ARP fund tracking?
Documents.
Well, now that counts.
Yep, it had to be where
Why,
it
how
is.
come it won't come up?
Says last time modified December
Did you come
20.
up? Yeah.
Revenue information.
Everything here is December.
Okay. So you have this. and
Well,
this
you're in the
is-
spreadsheet.
I know, but
Yeah.
Okay,
I just clicked on what was in SharePoint.
right.
And how come it's listing everything, all the check numbers? I mean,
Jeez, I just went out of, the second page does, go back to the first page down at the bottom. There should be a tab on pages. The second page lists all the invoices that have been paid out of those accounts. There should be a first page.
I've got
Mine
I'm
went
not
clear out of
finding-
SharePoint.
where do you change pages?
on the bottom, but I'm in a different one than you are. I don't know where the hell. Cause I don't have the same
Where are you?
test spreadsheet is where I got, but I don't have
Yeah, that's what I have.
and it.
Well, it's listed in town of Matisse, 121,000.
Where how did you get into that one? That's what the question I
That's
asked.
the one I just went into. That's
Right in SharePoint.
this number. What the heck?
That's meetings,
This isn't.
this one.
Oh, okay, you went to
To do
that.
with the
And
ARP
then
funding.
right down here, you got
Yeah, it's
this
different.
ARPA worksheet,
10-4.
and then
Yeah,
it
this
comes
is-
up. I mean, I can go all the way back to January, Mike Garza's stuff, and I don't understand
We're
what
not
I'm
using
looking at here.
Okay,
We're
so
not using
what are
it.
we
The
using?
Go into
spreadsheets
meetings,
that
go
are
into
current
today's
are in
meetings.
today's meeting.
Go into-
Are these all things that have
Today's
been
meeting.
paid out of the original COVID?
Yeah, I'm not sure we've written any checks out of
Good
the new
heavens,
money
there's-
yet.
Which one, would you go into the first or second ARPA worksheet, Lloyd?
The first one is the general.
So that's the 6 million.
That's the 6 million. The second one
That's
is
the
the
12
12.
million.
Well,
Or 12. yeah,
Six
it's
right
all
now.
done. We don't have the.
Well, we don't have it. When are we supposed to gift that? If we
July.
do?
Not July.
Okay. So that is next year officially, Scott.
where are we? Oh, there it is.
Scott jumped my crap about saying.
I thought it was
gonna
coming
be-
at the end of June.
Well, close
Yeah.
enough. Well, that's when PILT comes in.
Bill comes in.
Bill comes in,
Yeah.
but as far as the reconstruction money, that's next year it will come in.
Well, they said probably
So
July
we've-
for the second half.
Oh, July of this year.
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
5, 6.
See, Lloyd's going on government calendar and I'm going by
Oh,
regular person calendar.
Oh, no,
so that's the $12 million one.
for
Okay.
later.
That's the gravel conservation district and the senior center.
Oh, hell. Says right there, if I don't look, we got 1.15 left.
Right. That's in the COVID one.
Yes,
Okay. We've basically been holding some of that for HVAC because it qualifies under the COVID. But guess we could go ahead and talk about that as long as we're in this file. The question that came up this morning in work session about the network switches. What are your thoughts on what we do with those? These network switches were required to get enough capacity for the HVAC units and computer connections. Of course, they will be ongoing use, but the reason we're having to order them and get them right now is the HVAC system. So the question was, do we take them out of these funds or through the IT budget?
I think I'd rather they stay in the IT budget if he's got the money there. I mean, I understand that he's gathering them up for because of the HVAC, but they're going to be continued to be used
The other thing.
for other things.
Okay.
It's not like it's a one-time deal. That's the only thing they're used
No.
for.
That's true. They're continuing. Either way. Anybody else have any thoughts, or is that okay? What to tell Mike?
Yeah, I'd like to make it a little simpler. I mean, we're getting a lot of those coming out of these funds
Right.
and the list keeps going on and on and on. So if we can just keep it a little simpler out of the IT budget, I think that'd be the best way to
Okay,
go.
okay with that? Yeah, would you let Mike know that we'll just put that one voucher wise out of the IT budget? Thank you. Okay. All right.
I noticed a description on some of the expenditures that we have. Like, for instance,
Which one are you in?
going into this,
Are you in the 12 million or the 5?
this is the,
What's the title of it? Oh,
that you get to a point of, it's easier to buy off Amazon, but in one case, it's $5 buckets.
yeah. Yeah. I'm
So
not
we're
sure.
ordering those off Amazon instead of using some of
Local.
the local merchants. So
Right.
this is something I dealt with in
Sure.
Powell for a while. It's a lot easier to buy batteries off of Amazon and have it delivered instead of using your local merchants with their tax dollars. So I think if we could send out to the people spending money, try to spend locally first
Absolutely.
before going off of Amazon to make things simple. So
Madam Chair, and
Yes, sir.
that might be something we may want to bring up at our next department head meeting, but that is actually in our purchase procurement. It isn't a dollar amount, but it's the number one thing in the purchase procurement is whenever possible, you should shop.
Right. Where'd you
Local.
see that?
And if you better be able to justify that those 5 gallon buckets were a hell of a savings
To do it that way.
to do it that way, not to, and you can take into account, yeah, it's easier, not just saved 15 cents a bucket, but they delivered them here and I didn't have to go get them.
Right.
I understand efficiency is part of it, but keeping our local economy, I agree 100%. That's why we put it in there.
Okay.
That's always been a tough one because
It
you want
has.
to balance, you're spending the taxpayer dollars prudently. And yet, keeping it
trying to save
local
money,
and
yeah.
supporting your local economy.
Yeah.
One of the biggest reasons I pushed to have that procurement policy 2 or 3 years ago was that someone from Powell was pissing and moaning about not getting a chance to be a vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And after we got it all in and done, he didn't even bother putting in the quote.
I think Nate had something, Madam Chair.
I was just gonna say, we bought some stamps for elections where we needed receipt date.
Mhm.
So we bought the ones that you can change the date. Okay, so, in doing that, we purchased one and it was $70 some, and we found them on Amazon for $13.
Yeah.
So I think we have to keep that in mind also.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that big of a discrepancy, but I have always pushed to use our local.
Mhm. First,
Mhm.
And there's added value with somebody from the county going into the business and saying, I want to buy this from the county. It makes the business feel.
Get a
very
disco
well
at
taken.
Colleen's desk.
yeah,
Colleen's in a disco.
I know. I sent a BG work order though.
Okay.
To fix it.
You already-
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Yeah, I already did. It's annoying. Keeping it.
I'll bet.
Well, and this morning, it's funny that I must have light bulb attraction right now. And one burnt out in my bathroom this morning too. I'm like trying to put my makeup on, I'm like, why is it so dark in here? And I look up, and one of them's burnt out.
Well, we can, 10 minutes off or so, but one of the reasons, we're looking at these ARPA fund sheets, is the background of the 12 million. And that was a goal of NACO to procure those funds for the counties without going through the state processes to have those funds come directly to the counties using somewhat the PILT process. So in doing that, one of the things that NACO had talked about was making it a benefit to the counties also for some of the use of the funds, and asked for approximately 1%. We haven't got the final information yet. We have been receiving more information all the time about where this funds would be used. But NACO has asked for 1% to be provided to NACO to set up this working group for counties. And that's something that Lloyd brought to me, and we were talking about just putting it as a heads up on our general fund ARPA money. The 1% is what, 120,000. So it would be a placeholder at this time. We're supposed to learn a little bit more about it and what it'll be used for and how it would be sent if we choose to do that. We will learn more at our WCCA conference in May in Douglas, the end of the month, and then make some decisions after that as far as actually doing it. But we wanted to make sure we had a placeholder on here so that we didn't forget about it until we had that option. So I guess the pleasure of the board to put this on here as a placeholder of 120,000 for NACO.
Kevin, I assume you would like an action or a motion for the.
Thank you.
Okay, so Madam Chair, I'd move to approve 120,000 on the requested column of the ARPA fund spreadsheet at this time for NACO fund. NACO, that's good enough.
So, Madam Chair, just to, your motion, I'll second it for discussion, but your motion is to approve it. I would.
Approve to put it in the request column
Okay,
of the
that's
spreadsheet.
that's more what I was after.
Okay.
So,
And yes,
Have a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of putting the 120,000 for NACO on the requested portion of our ARPA information at this time?
Aye.
Those in favor?
aye.
Motion passes. Okay, so we'll have Steve add that, or Molly, one of the other, okay, so we don't forget about it. More info to follow on that one. Oh, Greggy today. I don't know if anybody from the city's coming for that or not, so might wait a little bit. Again, coffee time. Smoke them if you got them. Was that Bucky?
If you smoke, yeah.
Matt's coming in for this.
Don't know for sure. He said he might.
Philip will be back right on time.
I'm not going there.
It says 15 minutes early, so after we can start.
We can do it again anyway. Okay.
Pauline, did the fine doctor find any issues with our election process?
He's still not gotten back to me. I'm gonna send him an email or send Karen an email. He still hasn't produced his serial number, so
Because he said he's gonna find something.
he hasn't gotten back to me on anything.
Is Karen still scheduled for 11 to come over?
Mhm.
There's no way she could come earlier, I suppose.
You could give her a call, see if she wants to come. Be on her way.
You know what, well, we'll see. I don't know what that's about. We can discuss it when she gets here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a fundraiser at the Powell Library. Okay. I think it's mostly the foundation doing it, but
But if it's a party, I'm all in. I'm sure.
they have to have our permission in order to have alcohol.
We
Usually
have
if there's
permission to have beer
alcohol
on
involved.
Friday afternoons.
Hey, be like
The library had to have permission.
Hot Springs County Commissioner
Yeah,
in the Zoom meeting with
goodness. Yeah. Yep,
Just checking.
boy, they're in a heated argument down there right now
where at,
in Hot Springs.
what's going on there.
Apparently, the new commissioner wants a public input place on the agenda because they never let the public talk at their meetings.
Okay,
I'm not going.
Pauline, we can have beer, but it can't be Bud Light
No, it cannot be.
Why no Bud Light?
because they are,
Well,
we're boycotting them because of Dylan. What, how do you say his last name? Malvoisie Partnership.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh,
Are you telling me I have to change my type of beer?
Yeah,
Coors gives me a
I
headache.
know, me too. That's why I'm thinking Modelo or Corona or something. I don't know.
Not sure we need to make a
Oh.
You
decision.
can scroll up. when it's- when that's-
Oh, transgender, wow.
Lloyd tried Blue Moon.
Blue Moon's with them too. I think,
They're a Coors product.
or they.
Can I drink the rest of them that I have?
Any of that stuff isn't beer.
Give them to the cows.
Lloyd, I'll take them.
Mine aren't the rainbow bottles, so I think I'm good. I'm okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Mayor Hall is on his way.
I thought he said he was gonna try.
Well, that means, I mean, you can't Bush Light and all that because it's
So
all
why would you drink it anyway? That's my first question.
Bush Light free. You go somewhere, you know, there's a tub full of them and
That's known as.
Where are you going where you get free beer all the time, Lloyd?
brandings, you know, things like that.
Oh,
Some ranchers are cheap some bucks, so.
Well, when we were on the lake, we had to switch from Bud Light to Blue Moon because Bud Light, after it warms up a little bit, tastes off.
You know, Blue Moon isn't bad. That's not
Yeah,
Anheuser.
Blue Moon tastes pretty good after it warms up, so that's what we had to switch to when we're on the lake, so. And the guys at Tanager kept pushing all these other beer, well, try this one. No, it doesn't work, so it's just Blue Moon.
Anymore, you know, there's really only about 2 breweries. I mean, even Coors is Miller is Coors. And
Yeah.
I like Miller.
what's that?
I like Miller. Do you remember Miller? Paul?
And I think isn't Keystone Coors also?
Keystone's clear, I think.
Just so you know, we are paused.
I think it's legitimate discussion.
Right letters to the editor and the Park County Commissioner aren't even talking about locally brewed beer.
I drink a Wild West.
Yeah,
I love their beer.
Well,
Yeah, it's like a dessert type of beer, you know, but
according
it's
to our
pretty good.
procurement
but
policy, we
I
really
couldn't
should
drink a
stop
whole
local
bunch of them, but-
breweries.
There you go.
You don't want to get drunk on peanut butter stout.
I really don't think we want the mayor
Mayor,
to hear this
Do we
discussion.
need to stand?
You wanna weigh in on what's real beer and not beer?
We're having a pretty heavy discussion. Oh, my goodness.
We back on?
We've had kind
So
of
you want me to read?
a,
Ready?
It's up to the boss.
yes, I think we can go. We're a little early, but Matt, you're not expecting anybody else to come over?
On staff.
Okay. The next thing on our agenda, review and allow the chair to sign updated law enforcement center agreement. And that agreement is between Park County and the city of Cody, and how the law enforcement center is basically operated. There's some expenses that go to the county and some expenses that go to the city. And there's different ways in that agreement that those are figured. And we've spent about the last year and a half updating, 2 years, updating some of the information in there. I mean, it includes IT, it includes dispatchers, it includes areas of the building, that type of thing. So it's taken a little while to get through all that and making some of the changes that we wanted to make over time. So I think the city of Cody approved it last week on their agenda. So we put it out for the commissioners to approve today, and we'll move forward with it. Sometimes it goes for a few years and doesn't need any updates. Everything's fine. And other times it needed updates, and this time it needed some updates. So
Madam Chair, I think I know the answer to this, but I just forgot. I wanna, our county attorney has reviewed this document.
absolutely.
I know you did.
Yeah, both attorneys have been working on it pretty hard over the last few months to make it work to everybody's benefit in the long run. So that's where we're at.
So, Madam Chair, first, I would like to thank you for your work on this, and Mike Connors as well, and the folks on the city side. It's been like I say, a long time coming, but I think this is gonna be a good document moving forward. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve and allow the chair to sign.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to approve professional services agreement or updated law enforcement center agreement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Opposed? And motion passes.
There's 2 copies there.
Okay.
Thanks for all your help.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
Oh, sorry, I cut it close, but no, I appreciate it. I think, our IT guys will finish out the server things. I think that's the last to kind of delineate those 2 rooms and.
Right.
and,
Mike
we're
and Trevor
looking
said
good
they,
on that, and
Yeah.
I think everything else is going along
Okay.
very well between the 2 agencies, so.
okay, yeah, Mike and Trevor said this morning they would get after it and work with your team.
Yeah.
To figure out how things were gonna go forward.
All right,
Let me give you this, if you're headed back over there.
Yeah.
Okay, Colleen needs to attest them and then they're ready.
Is it an agreement?
Yeah.
Has to be recorded.
Well,
that's
but we can,
Are their signatures not on it yet?
Yeah.
They are.
they are,
They are, so then we need to record before we can.
both of them are just,
You want a recorded copy or you just want a copy?
I can wait. It's okay.
Well, we'll
It's
send
been
you,
about a year, 18 months.
Yeah,
but I
it's
think
been a while.
It's gonna be that
Yeah.
bad.
you want an original or do you want us to just email it?
Whatever your standard. I think we would be usually get.
I think the city usually likes just to email, but
Okay.
we can definitely do that.
well, she put a note on here. Sign and return 1 copy to the city, so. Okay. Or let them know when it's available and they'll pick it up.
Okay.
All right, what else is going on? Are you headed to Cheyenne?
Yeah, so our SLIB grant is back on for this 3rd tranche of money.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go down and shepherd it through, hopefully a little bit better than last
And that's
time.
the water lines?
Yeah, the
Okay.
tree, they call them the tree.
Tree streets?
Up by the golf course. So to try and redo those water mains, and I think that's about it's a $4.2 million project. I think the grant we're requesting is it's 2.5. We're doing that 50% match, so.
Okay.
We think we'll be in line. I'm gonna meet with a couple of the the electeds, I think, had the most amount of confusion over some of the project things ahead of time, so.
Good.
So, yeah, and hopefully I can make it. My brother was telling me that they're about 5 or 6 inches away from having the most amount of snow in a given day in Casper.
What'd you say?
30 inches.
30 inches?
Yeah. So, yeah, I got a city vehicle and it's got all-wheel drive, so it could be, I got till Friday to get there, so
You
we'll
can
see.
fly down to Denver and then get a rental.
Right.
Yeah, cost effective, yeah.
But based on like the last slip meetings, I think it might be worth it for me to be there. Might need to do that.
Yeah, it's good to have someone there.
Yes,
Absolutely.
greatly appreciated. I'm glad we got the wastewater one actually. I think
Be a
the
good
list of
project.
priorities, I probably would have put that ahead like prior going anyway. So
Okay.
anyways,
Okay, I don't
Thanks,
think we have
guys.
anything else. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming over.
See you, Matt.
yeah.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I'm gonna step, I get a neighbor called me and he knows that.
Problems at Clark.
Al, problem?
Yep.
Okay. Is
That'd
Karen
be
gonna try to come over?
I didn't get her by phone, but I emailed her.
Okay. Just. That's it.
Oh. Yeah, and I can, once we record, I.
That's fine.
Drive by
Yeah.
and drop it off. I go that way to wonder. That's for a lot of street.
Oh, the petition.
Yes. I'm sure I'll be right back.
Everything okay?
Yeah, it was a cow issue, but not a problem. Cow. They wanted to know when I was turning out
Oh,
and also if I had a bullet for it.
oh,
I saw a picture of up in Clark where the wind was blowing.
Oh,
What was it?
horse
Horse
chicken.
trailer?
yeah,
That was that in Clark?
Yeah, that's what. it
I
said.
saw that
Clark.
picture this morning.
yeah, it was in Clark.
Really?
That's what they posted.
Probably don't, I seen it, that was actually on Ag Day.
Better like aluminum. Nice.
Hello? Cool.
I've never heard. about
Okay,
these phones
appreciate the
ringing.
notice. Thank you. All right.
Must be the White House.
Our website is back up and functional. Been
Oh.
tweaking a couple of things, but it is working. That's the first time
Yeah.
those phones never ring.
I've been half tempted to just tell them to get the phone out of here because I've never used that one.
Yeah. Leave it to Mike.
I tried.
He likes the phones. So.
He's one to install.
I actually, I think I did use it once, but I had to get help to figure out how the hell to use it. Yeah, that was on the early morning at it's either 5:30 or 6 in the morning, the Ag Day, it's called. It's a
Oh.
national
Uh-huh.
farm journal.
Oh, was it on there
broadcast.
too? Okay.
And it was on that, and all it said was in Wyoming, and it showed that aluminum trailer.
Hmm.
Rolling, but I
Yeah.
didn't, they didn't say it just said in Wyoming, but that was in Clark.
Yeah, the Post has it in Clark, and then they showed all the semis blown over in Red Canyon Lander, headed to South Pass. They lost several trucks. But yeah, they said that the wind in Clark was up to like 80 or 85.
The other,
I don't know, people don't really, they haven't learned to park things in the right direction. I mean,
Yeah.
it tip my pivot over every time if I parked it.
But this was in a place, I mean, it wasn't really in a yard.
No, it was a field.
It was like in a field. It looked like it was blowing across sagebrush and rolling. So I don't
Right.
know if they just had it parked at the edge of a pasture or what they did.
Broadside.
But broadside, yeah, obviously. But yeah, it tore the whole roof off of it.
I
Somebody said feather, light as a feather with this feather lights.
it's done.
Oh, you already took care of it.
Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.
How would you, that's what he was coming for.
Oh.
Law Enforcement Center agreement.
Oh. They've been involved in all the meetings, so.
We came home the other day in the afternoon coming from Denver on I-25. They closed I-25 in Colorado, which
They don't do.
they don't do, and it was ripping. There was dust storms coming across there.
You know, growing up in Boulder, they built their high school out south of town and the windows were 6 inches wide. They put about 8 of them in, but there weren't too many large windows. We were right below NCAR
Mhm.
and it would come through there once or twice a year at 100, 110.
Well, do you remember when they were doing the East Side School edition and the wall blew down?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Yep. As I said, I'd move out of Boulder and get somewhere the wind doesn't blow, so we come to Cody, Wyoming. Yeah. That didn't work. Karen, you haven't seen her? Okay, then why don't we go ahead and do the executive session?
Madam Chair, I move we go into executive session.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to go into executive session. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
You want to get Joy over here?
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is Karen Horner, Library Director, Park County Library, request permission to serve alcohol at a fundraiser in the library.
Yes.
Oh, Karen.
Thank you, Commissioners, for seeing us. I'm Karen Horner, and I'm with Barb Quick, who is on the Library Foundation Board. And we're here to talk about a potential fundraiser that the foundation would like to do at the Cody Library for all Park County libraries. The event we're planning is Saturday, August 19th, and we're wanting to sell tickets. It'll be called Night at the Library, and it's based on 5 books, and we're going to have themes. So we'll have serve appetizers and drinks with the theme of the books. And there'll be other activities. It's for 21 and older. And so we've already got it. We'll have a catered event with appetizers. We have a mobile bartending service lined up. And so that's what we're here today to just kind of, I'll let Barb ask since I won't do that.
Thanks again for seeing us. I'm secretary of the foundation, and on behalf of the foundation, I'd like to ask permission for us to serve alcohol at this event.
Okay. Have we done much of that in the past? Do you know?
I was told that there has been done there in the past for like special author events where there's been wine and things served. This one would actually be, like I said, a bartending service who would supply the alcohol and sell drinks. That's kind of what we're asking. Yeah. With, like I said, with tickets being sold for a fundraiser.
Is there any kind of auction or something you're trying to get people liquored up for?
Just fun. Yeah.
Oh.
It's fun. Like, and we're looking for sponsorships for businesses and things like that. So really, you know, it's kind of like what the Sorokinos do and other people do here in the county. So that's kind of, we're making a fun event, music, drinks, food, things like that.
Commissioner?
I don't really have an issue with it. My question though is because we are within the city limits, doesn't require anything from the city.
Yes.
Yes, and the mobile bartending service that we're hoping to contract with after your approval, they'll handle all the permits. That's part of their services. They'll take care of all of that.
Big catering.
Yeah, and they'll have servers, bartending servers and things like that.
So Madam Chair, I've been here for 10 years and I can't recall us doing this before. I would also question whether we're allowed to do it, allowed for it to happen, because I don't remember ever approving anything like this. And I would just like to know possibly from our county attorney, if we're allowed to have this happen in public buildings. Not saying we can't, but before I move forward with approving it, I would like to visit with him. He's stuck in Nevada.
Yeah,
Francis might know. So.
Yeah, the only thing I've been told in the past is that it was like wine or something. I don't know if it was sold, I just know it was served, but maybe you guys weren't aware.
I don't recall approving it.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it. I'll make a motion to approve pending the county attorney's approval. To allow alcohol on August 19th for their fundraiser.
That's a motion to approve contingent on the
A
county
second.
attorney's approval. Been moved and seconded to approve the use of alcohol at a library, Night at the Library fundraiser for Saturday, August 19th for 21 and over, pending the county attorney's approval. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll.
Do you want to check with Brian?
Yeah,
I'll touch base
definitely.
with him too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay,
I went for it back.
just a work session thing on the land use plan. That's not a big deal. There's a couple of topics she wanted to get our opinion on as far as some of the comments that I'm changing, so it's not official.
So we're
You can adjourn.
moved to adjourn, Madam Chair.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. I will have Joy come back in.